Hi guys, just before I put this back together, I thought some of you might like to see what's involved with this job. It's a 58 Nissan Navara and the job is a bottom ball joint. Right, for those of you who know how to do this sort of work, I just thought I'd show you, in case you haven't done the job before. It's a bit of a pain but not too bad really. This is it with the new ball joint in, stripped. So basically, you've got to strip everything down, get the drive shaft off. I've just stuck it up there out the way, and the hub, so you can get at that little palm arm there. You won't be able to do this job, lads, unless you've got a press to press that little bugger out there and to press it back in really. So I got one of them, especially for this job. I have a few extra bits of mine, which I didn't really need. So I'll just show you this. It's a good tool. Got it off eBay. There you go. Plenty of power in that, and most of the cups and collars you need for the job. I suspect it does a lot of other cars as well, but I've yet to find out. So that's that. You will need one of those. Just getting back to this. The problem is with this, you can't get that little ball joint out with the drive shaft in place there. And in order to get the drive shaft out the way, you've got to split the top ball joint and obviously the bottom one. Everything else is attached to it, and just get it up there out of your way completely. So there's no way you can get the drive shaft out without splitting the top ball joint, because I tried. It's not quite enough movement, you know. So that's the main thing for you lads who are just wondering what's involved, and the rest of it is straightforward. Right, for people who are watching this that don't know much about mechanics or haven't done this job before, I'll start from the beginning for you. So first off, you want to jack it up on the chassis like that, so you got an axle stand. Take your wheel off. If you can get that centre cap out of the wheel before you take the wheel off, it's a good idea to undo the nut which is on the drive shaft through that hole in the wheel there while the wheel's on the floor. Okay, because it's a big nut and it's really tight, so that will help you a bit. If not, you can always get somebody to stamp on the brake and hold the brake while you put a spanner on to undo that big nut on there, which is this one. This one here, which goes on there like that. That's 32mm, and it's quite tight but not ridiculous. So make sure you do that. And I suppose it's always a good idea to spray WD-40 on everything the night before really. Another part of it which was quite tight was this bottom pinch bolt. This one here. Now that's the one that goes through there like that on the bottom arm, which goes through the ball joint there. Okay, so you might have to heat that up with a blow lamp or something to get it out. I did. It was quite tight. It's got a collar on the end, so you're not going to damage your thread if you give it a good smack with a hammer, but nevertheless, don't go mad. A bit of heat is always helpful. Just a little blow lamp will do on there. Heat that up there, and then in the split there with my finger, make sure you put a screwdriver or a chisel or something there just to open it a bit when you're trying to knock the arm up and get that stub out of that hole. So that's that. You will have to take the caliper off, the disc with the pads out, get all them out of your way, give yourself a bit more room to work around this area here. I will put some photographs on later of the press in position, pushing both in and out, so you can see how that's set up. It's a bit fiddly, but it's alright, you get over it. So that's it basically. I'm just in the process now putting this back together. So the first thing I'm going to do is get the hub down, put the drive shaft in, and then that'll enable me to put the top ball joint in, and then I can work on putting the bottom one in. Once that's all together, pretty straightforward really. Just caliper back on, drive shift nut back on, tracker end back on, wheel, tighten everything up, check it over, and that's it. I would tell you just be careful with these split pins, both in the tracker end and in the top ball joint. Make sure you get them out, even if you have to drill them before you start undoing a nut, because the last thing you want is this taper starting to turn when you're trying to undo it, or that one for that matter. So make sure you get the split pins out of the way, clean the threads, and a bit of WD-40 on there. And you will need a ball joint splitter or a puller just to break the tapers on there. So I think that's about it, guys. If you've got any questions, just let me know and I'll try and answer them for you. Oh, just be careful of the speed sensor. There's a little speed sensor there with a wire going around. There it is there. You could unplug it and take it out of the way. Just be careful you don't damage that. You don't want any problems when you're putting it back together, causing you more hassle. So that's about it really, guys. Okay, see you soon.